Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of College Ball with J Dog. You know how these videos start. I'll go ahead and beg you for some subscribers, for some comments, some likes. Please do that YouTube stuff for me, y'all. Hit that like button, comment on the video, subscribe if you're not subscribed. You hit that bell, hit all. I'm gonna give y'all a goal. I want to be at 100 subscribers by week 1. If y'all could do that for me, I'll be forever grateful. Hope y'all are enjoying the content. I'm getting it for you every day. We got a good show lined up today. We're going to go over Vols being the number one all-everything school. Got Aguilar in the lead for quarterback 1, possibly. And we got fall camp day 7 notes. We got a scrimmage tomorrow. Don't know how much information we'll get from that, but whatever we get, I'll have it for y'all. First things first, 22 days till kickoff, y'all. Tomorrow will be 3 Saturdays away, and only 2 if you count week 0. Y'all, we're in the thick of it. Y'all need to be tuning in, getting all your knowledge, so you can be the guy at the water cooler in the break room, sitting around with your buddies, hanging out, drinking some cold snacks, eating some damn appetizers, and you know you got all the knowledge that they don't. That's what I'm here for. I enjoy making these videos. Hope y'all enjoy watching them. Enough rambling. I'm sure y'all are ready to get into it. So without further ado, let's get into it. First things first, your Vols are the number one everything school, which if you're a Tennessee fan, you already know that. Quick note before we go over this list right here. Once week 0 gets here and week 1 gets here, this is going to be a complete college football show, y'all. I know I cover a lot of Tennessee stuff right now. That's because that's what I got time to do, and that's who I follow the most. But once week 0 and week 1 gets here, y'all, this is a college football show. We're going to go over all the games. We're going to go over some bets I like. We're going to pick games every week. We're going to do all that. So even if your buddies ain't Tennessee fans, get them to subscribe, because once football gets here, it's just going to be a college football show, y'all. And when college basketball gets here, we're going to go over that too. Anyway, top 10 sports schools in America right now. Number 1, your Tennessee Volunteers, y'all. Football team won 10 games 2 of the last 3 years. Basketball team been to back-to-back Elite Eights. Women's basketball team went to the Sweet 16 last year. Baseball team made it to the Super Regionals and won the World Series the year before. Softball team made it to the College World Series last year, made it to the Super Regionals the year before. That's an everything school. Texas at number 2. Not sure I quite agree with that. Their football team's up there. Basketball team's been iffy. Their women's basketball team's awesome. Their baseball team's awesome. Softball team's awesome. Their basketball team's holding them back a little bit. There was a tournament team last year, but they wasn't quite a top 25 program for most of the year. Ole Miss, number 3. That's a little high, too. I think Alabama should be higher on this list. I think LSU should probably be a little higher on this list. But this ain't my list, so we'll go over it. Ole Miss football team does 9-3 last year, 10-2 the year before, I'm pretty sure. Their women's basketball team's usually ranked in the top 25 or right close to it. Their men's basketball team, ever since they got Chris Beard, they're pretty good. Their baseball team's good. Hell, one of our best baseball players is from Ole Miss this year. And not sure about their softball team. I'll just be completely honest about that. Alabama, they're top 5. I mean, their football program had a bad year last year. It was 9-3. Basketball team's top 10 team. Their women's basketball team's top 25 school. Baseball team's pretty solid. Softball team's very solid. Oregon, as far as I know, their women's basketball team's not that great, but their basketball team's pretty good. So I wouldn't argue there. LSU'd be higher on the list if their men's basketball team was better. They're at 7. Florida at 8. Florida, if their football team had been better the last few years, they'd be up in the top probably 2 or 3, to be honest. UCLA, they're good at everything but football. And Duke's good at everything besides, I think, besides softball. Hell, even their football team's been winning 9 games a year. What do y'all think about that list? All I care about, we're number 1, baby. And, I mean, you can't really argue with them. Every program we got, every major top 5 program we've got is successful. I mean, football team made it to the playoffs last year and 10-2, 11-2 a couple of years ago. Went 9-4 the year in between. Basketball team, I mean, it speaks for itself under Rick Barnes. I mean, Sweet 16s, Elite 8s, that's the norm. Women's basketball just signed the number 2 recruiting class in the country, number 1 on one side, number 2 on the other. That's on top of a Sweet 16 and Kim Caldwell's first season. The softball team's always in the hunt for the World Series, at least Super Regionals, baseball team title, Super Regionals, College World Series, couple of years in there. At least Super Regionals, basically every year Vitello's been there besides his first, maybe. So, big things going on in Knoxville, y'all. Texas is up there. They got the oil money. Texas Tech might get up there because, I mean, they're throwing that oil money around like crazy. Their general manager, he straight up come out and said, they're calling around to see what the other teams' recruits are making in football right now. They're making 200,000 or 300,000. They're going to offer them 500,000 or 600,000. Man, it's just crazy college football world we live in. I hope to God they get it fixed soon. Players deserve money. I ain't saying they don't deserve money. Just saying the money they're making right now for freaking college kids is absolutely insane. I mean, some of them, if they don't make it to the NFL, they're still set for life. One thing real quick. Join my Facebook page. Like I said, invite all your buddies to it. It's literally public. You just go on there, hit join, you'll be on it. Like I said, if your buddies or other teams fans, invite them too. I don't care. I want everybody in there. I want it to be a place we can all talk a little trash, post things about your team. If you find an article you like, hell, even if it's about Alabama, Florida, LSU, it don't matter. Post it in there. That way we can talk a little junk to each other. Good interactive page. The only thing I want to allow in there is talking about people's families or personal attacks off of their Facebook page. That's the only rule I got. Anything else, let it fly. Just don't get on other people's pages and bring pictures and stuff off of there. We're not going that low, y'all. If y'all want to talk a little trash about our team's team, that's fine. But don't bring anybody's family or kids or any of their private stuff into the group. That's all I ask. So we got a little update today on center and right guard is the first thing I want to go over. And that was from Adam Sparks. At center, it's going to be Sam Pendleton, the Notre Dame transfer, or it's going to be William Satter-White. I would lean a little towards Pendleton. I mean, Satterwhite started with the ones at the beginning of camp, but it's a funny thing. I asked Glenn Ellerby, the O-line coach, the other day how much, after all the snapping, blocking, ID and defensive fronts, and all those sorts of things that go into being a center, like after that, how important are the intangibles of the position, the leadership, reliability, all these sorts of things. And he said the intangibles are a big part of it. And to me, that was a hint. Sam Pendleton is in the lead right now. Pendleton feels like a Cooper Mays. He feels like a Glenn Ellerby type guy. I mean, Sam Pendleton was on campus for less than a month, I'd say, and he was already sort of leading that room. There's a lot of stuff that goes into it. Body language. It also makes it a little easier to start Pendleton at center because they love Jesse Perry. They love him at right guard. If he can play there, then that'll give them the option at Pendleton at center. So I've been talking about this on my camp reports every day. So it sounds like right now Pendleton's going to be a center. I've said I thought he'd be right guard, but apparently they like him more at center now, which is fine with me because then you got Umarov or Jesse Perry that could be the guard. Umarov was a highly rated guy. Jesse Perry was not quite as highly rated, but he's in a battle with Clemson for him. So, I mean, that tells you everything you need to know. Clemson's been a top program. We've become a top program again. So, the fact that we beat Clemson out for him, that tells me he's a good player. Like I've said before on here, I'd rather have a high 3-star that offers by Clemson, Florida, Bama, teams like that than a low 4-star. Actually beating out teams like Rutgers and Michigan State for. That's just me. I always look at offer list. I don't look at where the player's ranked. So it looks like Sam Pendleton might be your center. So Jesse Perry Umarov will start at right guard. That's the only 2 spots that are really even in question on the offensive line right now. Lance Hurt's got left tackle locked down. David Sanders has right tackle locked down. And Wendell Moy has left guard locked down. So I'm going to go over this before we get into the Aguilar leading on the quarterback battle. Look at this. Miami doesn't leave the state of Florida until November. Literally, last month of the season is the first time Miami leaves Florida. Talk about saving on travel. They got Notre Dame at home, Bethune-Cookman at home. Then they play USF. That's at home. Then they play Florida. That's at home. So they start with 4 home games. Then they go to Florida State. Then they got a bye week. Then Louisville comes to Miami. Stanford comes to Miami. Then they go to SMU. So they've got to have a bunch of road games at the end of their schedule. Could you imagine having a schedule where Tennessee or your team, whoever you pull forward, didn't have to leave their state until November, y'all? That's 8 games into the season. That's absolutely insane. 7, 8 games into the season, you don't leave your state. But hey, all power to them. You better win them games then. It sounds like at the end of the season, you're going to be on the road a lot. I just thought that was a crazy little thing I seen earlier. Y'all might not find it as interesting as I did. Let's get into Aguilar being the leader of the quarterback room. On Friday, Nako's went a step farther and reported that one source told him Aguilar currently has the edge for the starting job. The source told On3 that Aguilar has been solid and his experience has flashed. Tennessee still has to get through its first scrimmage to see how Aguilar and Merklinger compete. But at this point, the former UCLA and App State transfer has the edge per sources. If you don't know Pete Nakos, he's the one who started breaking all the Nico stuff. He's the one that Nico's dad called Bitch Nakos. I mean, he's obviously plugged in, because when he brought all that stuff out, Nico's dad said he was lying, all this, and it ended up being true. And then Nico didn't show up to practice, and then it was over after that. So Nico's pretty plugged in, obviously. So if he says Aguilar's in the lead, I'm gonna take his word for it, which I've said all along. I think Aguilar will be a starter. Now Merklinger's looked good in fall camp too. So is McIntyre. But you don't really know what you got until we put the pads on and go play a scrimmage. That's tomorrow. So hopefully we'll get some notes from the scrimmage tomorrow, and we can talk about that. Them scrimmages, they're a little harder to get information out of than practices are. But hopefully somebody will give us some stuff to talk about tomorrow. If not, we'll still talk about something. Y'all know me. I'll find something to make a video about. So just be on the lookout tomorrow. Big day. Hopefully get some good information, so y'all tune in so we can talk about what goes on during the scrimmage. Who looks better at quarterback? Was the defense better? Was the offense better? Usually the first scrimmage, the defense usually gets best of the offense, because defense is a little easier to get guys up to speed on. Like I said, we'll see. So here's our fall camp. This is huge right here, y'all. First note, like I said, I go over these with y'all. I don't read them. I screenshot them so we can go over them together. But I did see this as I was screenshotting. This is huge. The biggest development we saw this morning was all SEC cornerback Jermon McCoy jumping into position drills for a couple of periods. If you don't know, Jermon McCoy, he's a preseason All-American, y'all. He tore his ACL right after the season last year working out. For him to already be in drills, that's a good sign. Even if he ain't quite back by week 1, I think he will be by week 2. And he's 8 months into his ACL recovery. Usually 9's the sweet spot. There's been guys come back at 8, though. Adrian Peterson done it. A couple other guys have done it. But Jermon McCoy's out there practicing doing drills, y'all. So it's looking like he's going to be ready to go. They said he was going to be ready to go, but it was hard for me to believe, because you might want to be cautious with your best corner. But that's huge news, y'all. When your All-American comes back and is going to be ready for the season more than likely, that's huge news. There are 2 red jerseys out there this morning, cornerback Colton Hood and offensive lineman Brian Grant. Colton Hood's kind of a big deal because he's going to be playing a lot of snaps. He's a huge gift from Colorado. Deion Sanders loved him. He's going to replace Travis Hunter at corner this year. Brian Grant, I mean, obviously any injury is a big deal because you never know how many injuries will pile up, but he's probably 3rd or 4th string lineman, so that don't hurt as bad. We had some special teams work today. Freshman running back Justin Baker, freshman defensive back Timothy Merritt, and redshirt freshman linebacker Jordan Burns are 3 players who earned praise from coaches for good reps. If you don't know, last year, our special teams were not quite as good as they were the years before under Heupel. In Heupel's first 3 seasons, we only gave up like 33 yards on kick returns or punt returns, something crazy like that. We've been sound as could be on special teams. Last year, we gave up a few. I'm not sure if it was the coverage or just the kicker didn't put the ball in the spots that he needed to put them in. But either way, we need to get back to that on special teams this year, because that's huge, not giving up any yards, because it helps you keep the field flipped. The quarterback faked the handoff and looked downfield before following their progressions and finding the running backs. With running back coach D-Rail Sims was very animated about the details, but aside from Baker dropping a pass right in his hands, the rest of the group, Sean Bishop, Peyton Lewis, Star Thomas, and Dewane Morris, each had good reps through the quick period. A lot of people ain't high on the running backs this year because we lost Sampson. I'm high on them, y'all. I like Deshaun Bishop. I love Peyton Lewis. Peyton Lewis is a freaking track guy that can play football. He's not just a track guy playing football. He's a football guy that's got track speed is what I'm trying to say. And I think he's going to be freaking awesome. I could see him even taking the starting running back job from Deshaun Bishop. And they've been raving about Deshaun Bishop too, but Peyton Lewis just has that home run hitter. He's a home run hitter. Deshaun Bishop ain't got that top end speed. He's good. In this offense, he'll excel just like every running back we have. And I'll tell you, Peyton Lewis is the one to watch. And after this year, Peyton Lewis and Dewanne Morris together, y'all, could be the most lethal combination we've had. Now, if we get Savion Hyder, he's going to be playing. So somebody's going to be the odd man out. Savion Hyder commits on the 18th, y'all. We will cover that. Got a little sidetrack there, y'all. The order of quarterback that we saw was mostly Merklinger, Aguilar, McIntyre, with some variation between the top two in terms of who they were throwing to based on their routes. So basically, they alternated. Aguilar threw accurately to Kitzelman, Travis Smith Jr., Radarius Jackson before he was wide of Amari Jefferson in the flat. He later threw too high for Mike Matthews on a slant in the back of the end zone. So he missed a couple passes, but overall he was pretty accurate. You ain't going to be perfect at quarterback. Pretty sure we got the quarterback's numbers on here. And as far as I've seen, the last couple of days, routes on there has gotten way more crisp, which was a concern early, which I told y'all when we was going over it not to fret yet because it's normal to be a little sloppy at the start of camp. I said if it kept on as camp went on, I'd be concerned, but as camp went on, we've gotten a lot more crisp, which you should be against there. I mean, Merklinger looked to have a pretty solid session, but McIntyre threw it the best, and his accuracy was really sharp. His throw in the out-breaking whip route to freshman Joakim Dotson after Aguilar's miss was pinpoint. The freshman quarterback rarely put a pass in the wrong spot. Y'all, McIntyre's going to be a problem next year. Him and Merklinger is going to be battling it out. And you're going to have freaking Faison Brandon in there too. Heupel just keeps getting an embarrassment of riches at quarterback, y'all. Somebody's going to be the odd man out next year, and they're going to end up transferring because nobody's going to sit on the bench for 2 or 3 years in this day and age. I mean, it's just not going to happen. So I'm ready to see them battle it out just like they're battling it out this year. I think Aguilar ends up being the guy. Nothing against Merkslinger. Merkslinger's had a hell of a camp from the sound of it. They do go against each other too, y'all. We always see routes on here. I want to talk about this. The media sees 20, 30 minutes of practice. After the media leaves, we do some 7-on-7, 11-on-11 stuff. The media just don't get to see it. So it's not like all practice, we're not just doing routes on there. That's what the media sees. I wanted to say that. Because it's always, everything we're reading is always about routes on there and all this. Leading the line at wideout were Matthews, Jefferson, Trey Weary with Smith, Dotson, and Radarius Jackson behind them. So Braylon Staley is still out, which honestly, as long as he's just got a minor tweak, I'm okay with that. That way the younger guys are getting the reps they need to be ready this season because they are going to get some playing time. We'll start in the defensive backfield where Jalen McMurray was seen working with the Stars during the individual period. He, of course, has the versatility to his game and has also been working at corner some in the fall camp. Boo Carter's there going through drills as normal for the 3rd straight practice. So Boo Carter's back. His punishment's over. I'm sure it's not over. But his punishment is sitting on the sidelines and watching, it's over. I'm sure he's still got things he's doing behind the scenes to get back in good graces with the coaches and the team. But as far as practice, he's out there. Boo Carter's going to be a game changer on this team this year, y'all. Me, I guess as kids say these days, a hot take. Boo Carter is going to be our best defensive back since Eric Berry. And that includes Jermon McCoy. Tell me in the comments if you agree with that or not. At cornerback, Colton Hood was in a red non-contact jersey. Jermon McCoy was working individuals for the first time in fall camp. He was wearing a helmet but no shoulder pads. Like I said, that's huge. He's even out there doing that. That means he's working towards getting back on the field, which is awesome. Because he is a shutdown corner. The only receiver last year that even had more than probably 50 or 60 yards on him in a game was Jeremiah Smith. Marcus Gorey and Colin Brazel also are seen getting some more work at the corner. Marcus Gorey, he's battling for safety too, so we're gonna have guys that can move around, y'all. You don't want to have guys just be stuck in one spot because you never know what injuries are gonna happen. All that. On the offensive side, Sam Pendleton was back in the fold while the media was on hand. Bennett Warren is getting work at both right tackle and left tackle during Indy periods. And I said that the other day that I think, and that was before the media even said it. That's the first time I've seen that. I said the other day that I think Bennett Warren will be your backup right tackle and backup left tackle, whichever guy needs a break or gets a little injury or just a little cramp, anything. Bennett Warren will probably plug in for them. And Jeremiah's Hurd, if both of them have to come in, Jeremiah's Hurd will take left tackle. Bennett Warren will take right tackle. But if it's just one of the tackles that go out, Bennett Warren's probably going to come in and play. Bennett Warren was a highly rated guy out of Texas. He's going to be a hell of a player. I think he ends up replacing Jeremiah. So Lance Hurd after Hurd leaves. If Hurd has a good year this year, it could be his last year here, y'all. I know that's, y'all probably think, oh, Hurd didn't even have that good of a season last year. He was injured. He was out of shape. He had a bad ankle. If you know anything about playing offensive line, especially tackle, your ankles are everything. I mean, if you can't put weight, if you can't set on your ankles and move your foot, do good footwork at left tackle, you're going to be bad. So I expect Lance Hurd to have at least all-conference top season, I mean, he was a highly rated guy coming out of high school. He just had a bad year last year, injuries, out of shape, missed all fall camp, and then this offense will move fast, all that. Just hard to get back into it after you're already behind, and you're going up against the best of the best in the SEC too. So, like I said, don't be surprised if Lance Hurd has a good enough season to go get drafted in the second round this year. He's that kind of talent, y'all. And if he has a good year and wants to stay, hey, that's great too. I ain't trying to get rid of him or nothing. You know what I mean? Let's see here. Clicked the wrong one. I do that at least once a video. Sorry, I get so into it and get going. I can't remember which slide I hit every now and then. Here we go. It was another good day of work and routes on air for the Tennessee passing game. Not many balls were hitting the ground. On balls thrown from the 10-yard line in, Joey Aguilar and Jake Merklinger alternated going first in drills with George McIntyre going third. Both Aguilar and Merklinger had some zip on the football and threw accurate footballs today. So like I said, they're rotating them both, giving them both first-team reps, and McIntyre's going third. McIntyre had a hell of a day today from what I've read. His main issue is he's got to get some weight on. He's still got to learn, get more acclimated to college defenses. They're faster. He played in a little low. I mean, he wasn't in the lowest or nothing, but he played on a bad team against good competition. So he has seen some athletes, but obviously getting accustomed to college athletes on defense and just more blitzes, more exotic defenses, more different kind of zones, all that. it's definitely a adjustment period. Some guys, not many guys do it as a freshman. I mean, there's freshmen that start, but a lot of them struggle. So nothing against McIntyre. McIntyre's, like I said, he's probably the most talented of the group, to be honest. He is the most talented of the group and could be your starter next year. This year it's between Merklinger and Aguilar. And I think McIntyre will get some play time against teams like ETSU and them. But so Aguilar and Merklinger rotated today. Miles Kitzman had a nice catch over the middle on a ball that was high. It seems like every day, y'all, we're hearing about Kitzman making a nice catch. I've said it before, if it's your first time tuning in, Kitzman's going to be a problem in this offense this year. He's one of our best. He's going to be one of our best weapons we got. I think it's going to be him, Mike Matthews, and Chris Broswell's going to be the main stars in the offense this year. I'm really high on Kitzman. He's a freaking matchup nightmare for linebackers, y'all. He's like 6'6", 250, 255. Pretty quick. Got a big body. And I was arguing with somebody on Facebook the other day about when Carson Sneed decommitted. They said that tight end is an overrated position in our offense, that we don't use it that much. It's like, you're absolutely crazy. We freaking have tight ends in the backfield blocking. We have them coming down on routes. We have them going down the seam. We put them at H-back. We do all kinds of stuff with our offense. Princeton Fant was one we done a lot with. McKellen Castles we done a lot with. Even last year, Kitzman we done a lot with. And this year we got Kitzman, Ethan Davis, and Deshaun Brain. Some people, I swear, they just getting off topic, y'all. Getting off topic. Darius Jackson was getting some one-on-one coaching from a graduate assistant after one of the red zone reps. He also made a nice catch in the period as well. Stretching well out to Hall and a ball thrown to from Merklinger. During individuals, the quarterback and running backs are going through mesh drills out of the pistol formation. Like I said, if you're new, haven't seen the episode yet, we're working in some pistol into the offense this year. That's new. We've ran no pistol under Heupel. Where Heupel every year just keeps adding a few wrinkles to the offense. That way you can catch the defense off guard. Last year it was 12 personnel where we put 2 tight ends in the backfield behind the lineman and freaking pounded the rock. We done that a lot against North Carolina State and some other guys. And some of that was also because our offensive line at the beginning of the season definitely struggled. As it went on, they got better. But where Lance Hurd wasn't healthy, and then we put 2 tight ends back there to have extra blockers and extra in pass protection as well. So that's all I'm saying about somebody said we don't use our tight ends. We use our tight ends in every possible way you can use your tight ends. Quarterbacks reps some throws on the run to begin practice. Aguilar continues to look comfortable in that regard. McIntyre also has shown that it could be a strength to his game. Throwing on the move is a big deal in this offense, y'all. The fact that Aguilar looked the best at that is another reason I think he's going to be a starter. That and his deep ball, his experience. And I'm pretty sure he's got good decision-making. I know he threw a lot of picks at App State, but that's because he was playing from behind all the time, having to play hero ball, y'all. When you're playing from behind, you having to play hero ball, you're going to throw interceptions. I mean, that's all there is to it. Merklinger is wearing the GoPro today. Ben Bolton on the defense had the camera on today as well. That goes to tell you, there's nothing to read into about who wears GoPro, because Ben Bolton will not be playing unless catastrophe happens this year. Peyton Lewis, Deshaun Bishop, and Star Thomas all look like solid contributors. That's what I was saying about the running backs. Everybody was down on the running backs. All the media, they lost Dylan Sampson. Yes, we lost Dylan Sampson. But our running backs are deep. They're always going to be deep when Heupel's there. Even an average running back is going to look like a pretty good running back in this offense. I ain't saying our running backs are average because I don't think they are. I think we got very talented running backs, but the way Heupel runs this scheme, he can make an average running back look like a damn good running back. See, William Wright, Emmanuel Okoye were both fully dressed out and stretching with the team, but were working off to the side when the team moved outside. That's two guys that'll probably be third, fourth string on the depth chart, not getting much playing time. So I hate that they're hurt, but it's not a big deal that they're missing practice, in my opinion. Marcus Gorey, McCoy, Hood, Trey Poteet, Colin Broswell were working with the cornerbacks during the open portion of practice today. During safety drills, Idris Farouk continues to work in the first team with Andre Turrentine during the open portion of practice. Farouk is battling with Caleb Beasley for the starting spot beside Turrentine, though. Both will likely play. So it's looking like Idris Farouk's leading for the other safety. I'm not picky on who starts there. I think they're both very talented and both bring different dimensions to the game. Caleb Beasley's longer, more of a ball hawk type safety. Idris Farouk's more of a come down helping the run game and lay the freaking wood type guy. You know, one of those that, like on Monday Countdown, they used to say, you just got jacked up. I'm aging myself there. Some of y'all might not know what that is. But so I keep liking these reports, y'all. I think we're fine at quarterback. I think his team is going to surprise people. A lot of people's low on us. I've seen some people not even have us in their top 25, but when we had Nico, we was ranked in their top 10. And for what Nico done last year, could he have done better this year? Absolutely. Second year starting, blah, 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 whatever. But you don't base that off that. You base off what you seen last year and what you think they're going to do this year. The fact that we went from inside top 10 to unranked in some people's polls just from losing Nico are teams that did not watch our games last year. That's just people that didn't watch our games last year. They see, oh, Tennessee lost 5-star quarterback. He's number 1 overall player in the country, number 2, according to which site you look at. They're obviously going to hurt the quarterback this year. If you watched our games last year, we pounded the rock, and we played defense. This team was tougher than a $2 steak, y'all. So I think the toughness is still there. That's Heupel's culture. And I think not Merklinger, but Aguilar, even Merklinger, I think either one of them will have a better statistical season this year than Nico had last year. I'd be willing to bet money on it. But that's just me. We'll see. We'll learn soon. I mean, a lot of people's down on Syracuse this year. They was down on Syracuse last year. Syracuse won 10 games last year, y'all. A lot of people's just looking at that game like it's a cakewalk game. And it could be. If we're who I think we're going to be, we'll win it by 2 touchdowns or more. If we struggle in it, I might start to worry a little bit. Syracuse did lose their quarterback, lost some guys. But last year, they wasn't picked to win 4 or 5 games either and won 10 games and beat Miami and knocked them out of the playoffs at the end of the year. So there's talent on that team, and they got a good coach. So if we're going to be what I think we can be this year, we'll beat Syracuse by 14 or more, roll into ETSU, use it as a week to prep for Georgia, basically have 2 weeks to prep before we go play Georgia at home. Hope y'all are enjoying these videos. I know I get sidetracked sometimes. Something pops in my head. I have to talk about it. Hopefully y'all enjoy stuff like that. On your way out the door, if you haven't already, please smash that like button. Get in the comment section. Make sure you're subscribed. Like I said, my goal is to get to 100 before the season starts. I'm at 40. I do get a lot of views on some of the videos. I've had over 100 on some. So if all y'all just hit that subscribe button, don't cost you nothing. It helps me out. I appreciate y'all tuning in. Hope you enjoyed it. As always, go Vols.